Now that parts 1, 2, and 3, I fixed Middle East, I fixed South Asia, and I fixed East Asia finished, I've compiled them all into one video.
It isn't 1:30 AM and I'm doing this again. So of course the only way to naturally progress from Israel to Palestine forward is to fix the Middle East, so I got rid of Iraq. But I didn't want Saudi Arabia getting too powerful, so I gave some of the land to Kuwait. I also made sure to get rid of Syria too and gave it to Turkey. Also, Iran doesn't really need to exist, it's rightfully Azerbaijani territory anyways. And I gave the rest of the Caucasus region to Turkey. Also, since Yemen is too confusing to find on a map, I just sunk it to the bottom of the ocean. I also sunk Israel for obvious reasons. While I was at it, I also united North and South Cyprus. Also, I don't really see Lebanon going around and doing any good for the world, so I went ahead and gave it to Turkey as well. Now that I went ahead and made Turkey great again, I'm gonna go ahead and make the president of Turkey Yusuf Erakat. I also sunk Qatar to the bottom of the ocean, and I went ahead and united the United Arab Emirates and Oman, and I just went ahead and gave it to Sardinia. Also, Turkey doesn't need all of that European land, so I went ahead and gave that away. Now it's time for the names. I changed the Republic of Turkey to the Turkey Empire. I forgot about the name of this random African country, so I just called it West Palestine. I contemplated calling Saudi Arabia East Palestine, but I decided against it. Now it's time to give our glorious country a name. I then made the supreme leader of Palestine just Gordon the Destroyer, cause who's a better leader than her? I also renamed Kuwait to the Greater Kuwaiti State. And then I went ahead and, labeled Azerbaijan. And of course I wanted to name this land New Sardinia because neither of these countries deserve it. Like, they don't need all that land. They could probably be banished to those islands. So it wouldn't be fitting to leave Cyprus as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, so I changed it to the Turkish Republic of Entire Cyprus. I then went ahead and gave Eastern Thracia to Albania, because who else needs that land? And then I gave all of them flags. I found the best flag of Palestine on the internet and went ahead and made that the flag of the People's Republic of Palestine. Also, this African country that I forgot the name of, I also forgot their flag, so I just gave it another black, white, and red flag. No worries there. Also, Kuwait's flag was too generic, so I just changed it to this cool flag that I found. Anyways, there you go, I've given peace to the Middle East. And now it's time to offend a quarter of the population. I know that traditionally Central Asia doesn't go down to India, but it would be a boring video if it was just all stand nations, so I tried including as many countries as possible. Of course, to start off, I gave Kashmir independence, and I went ahead and united India with Nepal and Bhutan. And in order to prevent Bangladesh people from existing, I sunk Bangladesh to the bottom of the ocean. I also made a land bridge between Sri Lanka and India. And then I proceeded to immediately cut it off again. I also extended Kashmir into Pakistan a little bit. For reparations though, I gave the entire country of Afghanistan to Pakistan. I also went ahead and united Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Of course, as per usual, I gave the entire country of Iran to Azerbaijan. Also, to avoid conflict in the future, I sunk Armenia to the bottom of the ocean. I didn't know what to do with Turkmenistan, so I gave the entire country to Pakistan. With the borders finally fixed, I went ahead and started naming the abominations that I created. Of course, since Kazakhstan is the greatest country in the world, they get to just stay as Kazakhstan. And of course, it wouldn't be an I Fixed It video without Albania, so I gave the entire country of India to Albania. And I just ended up calling Pakistan just Greater Pakistan. Azerbaijan is completely normal, so they get to stay as Azerbaijan. And now for this thing in the middle of Asia, I just called that the Central Asian Federation. There were too many countries there, and I couldn't figure out what they were all called. So in classic European fashion, I united them with no regard for cultures or ethnicities. And of course we've got our Kashmir Free State. And we can't forget about our favorite state, Georgia. Sri Lanka too, which I gave to Sweden. The map was looking too bland, I decided, so I drew a line down India. Yes, that's right, boys. Chile has returned, and they've colonized India. And of course, I had to make the word Chile as long as possible. Now it's time for the flaggy flags. I gave Kazakhstan just their regular flag, and I gave the Central Asian Federation just like a Turkey flag, but it's green instead. I gave Azerbaijan this completely normal looking Azerbaijani flag, and I gave Greater Pakistan the random flag I found on Reddit. The Albanian Raj gets a custom made flag. Chile gets a custom-made flag too, just because I really like them. Since Chile owns a colony and this isn't like their mainland, I also gave them a cool-looking colonial flag to put there. Yeah, there's nothing wrong here, there's nothing going on, it's completely normal. And there you go. That's what I've created. This will surely end any future conflicts between cultures and whatever. Bye!
Well, I have to finish this third and final part, so here you go. I fixed East Asia. I of course started off by thinking of what the heck to even do. Like, you have this whole palette, this whole map, and you're an American, you don't even know what half these countries are. So of course I started by fixing the problem with East and West Korea. It's just not fair that they're divided, so I gave them both to Japan so they could stop fighting. Then I wanted to bring Genghis Khan back, so I just kind of gave Mongolia Outer Mongolia so it can be like the truest, or I guess you could say Greater Khanate. I don't know, I thought it would be cool. I also gave Manchukuo its independence. I also heard some people mention that this part of China, which is Islamic, is kind of important, but I don't really know what it's called, so I'm just gonna call it Chinese Palestine. Also, these two countries have red flags with yellow stars on them, so I figured they can't be too different, so I went ahead and united them. I also figured there are too many countries in this part of the world, and so I went ahead and did what the French did and just united them all. What could possibly go wrong, am I right? So then I took a break and debated on what to do for a few minutes. I went ahead and united Singapore Island to the rest of Asia so Indonesia can have better access to it. I then decided to give the entire island of Borneo to Brunei because, you know, why not? After singing Papua New Guinea, I also figured, you know what, the Filipinos are too nationalist, we should just erase all these islands, like, they won't even notice. Anyways, so save the flags and names, this is my new map of Asia. Let's see what we can do to it to make it worse. Of course, we start off pretty normal, just Japan, you know, pretty normal stuff. Japan. I of course made the island of Taiwan restore the Qing dynasty, and I also went ahead and made this Bruneian Borneo Republic just socialist for no reason. I also figured that if anyone could, the Thai could lead this abomination and amalgamation of Southeast Asian countries. And of course I deposed the commies in China and replaced it to the old Republic of China. And here I created Chinese Palestine. I didn't want to disappoint my Albanian grandfather, so I had to include Albania in this video somehow, and so I just gave this Tibetan thing to Albania. With the titles done, we go on to the flags. How exciting. I gave Chinese Palestine this weird Palestine flag, and I put the Chinese stars on it. Like, couldn't get any more creative than that, really. I wanted to give this Albanian Tibet a unique flag, but I also wanted to keep the base Tibet flag because it is amazing looking. So I got rid of this weird reef thing, slash coat of arms, slash whatever you want to call it, on their flag. And I of course put the Albanian eagle there because it's just so awesome. Rest of these flags are mostly just me getting lazy and going on r/Frixiology and just picking out random flags that other people made. I use Thailand's old flag because I just kinda like how it looks. Like, putting an elephant on your flag is so ballsy and I appreciate that so much, so had to use it. It's a shame they don't use it anymore. Indonesia's flag looked too close to Poland and Monaco, so I also had to change that one up a bit by using their old flag, which I unironically believe is totally better. For Socialist Brunei, I just used the flag of the Socialist Party in Brunei, and I thought it looked kinda cool, so I went with it. I wanted to use a flag of monarchist Japan because they control Korea, but I didn't want to use any potentially offensive symbolry, so I just used this custom flag I found on r/Fexiology. Of course, after the Chinese Civil War of 2024 or whatever, the Qing monarchists fled to Taiwan and the Taiwanese came back to mainland China. It was kind of an Uno reverse card, except with monarchy, the monarchist return. So it was kind of an Uno reverse card on the communists as well, but they don't even have a country themselves, so they didn't go to the island. I was having a big difficulty with trying to get these flags into the corner up here, like Manchukuo, the Greater Khanate, and Chinese Palestine, but it was just difficult without covering land up, and if you didn't notice already, I tend to try to avoid covering up the land at all costs, but here I didn't really have a choice. I wanted to feature the flags on there. Last but not least, I brought back the old Republic of China flag because, honestly, this flag is so cool. I love this flag so much. They should have kept it. Why did Taiwan have to change their flag? Probably because they're on the island of Taiwan now, but still, I'm never gonna give up how cool this flag is. Well, that's it. This is officially, I fixed the entirety of China, if you watch all 3 parts, I guess. Anyways, enjoy, have a good night, or whatever. Bye.